Hi everyone, welcome back to Vhar. If you're new here, first of all, thanks for joining. I'm Michael Whitebrook, a science fantasy author. You're watching the second part of my world-building series, which serves as an introduction to my book, Poisoned Past, coming out later this year. I'm of course very glad you're here. But if you haven't watched the first episode yet, I'd recommend checking that out first. This part might be a little hard to follow otherwise. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Now, on with the show. Today I'll be introducing the many faces of the Nazril, meaning the different subspecies that call Vhar home. Now, the idea of different intelligent species living side by side might sound strange to you, but our Earth was once much like this. Tens of thousands of years ago, several human subspecies coexisted across Eurasia, and for reasons we can only speculate about, only the Homo sapiens survived. This convergence never happened on Vhar, and the different subspecies of Nazril still live happily side by side. Apart from all the war, raiding, and economic extortion, of course. While these subspecies share the same ancestor, their anatomy has diverged significantly, as have their cultures and lifestyles. Let's take a look at what makes each of them unique. We'll start with the Zizzin, the tribal dwarves of Vhar. They may be the smallest of the Nazril, but what they lack in height they more than make up for in grit and resourcefulness. The Zizzin make their home across the scattered isles of the Wild Shores, where hundreds of different tribes have thrived for generations. These tribes are infamous for their long-standing feuds, bitter rivalries whose origins have often been lost to time. The causes vary wildly. Disputed fishing grounds, ancient betrayals, stolen heirlooms, or simple matters of pride. Most Zizzin alive have only vague knowledge of how these conflicts began. But the ancient vows of vengeance are remembered, passed down to every child before their first dip in the deep. With blunt snouts and rounded heads, the Zizzin are modeled after Risso's dolphins, known for their prominent scarring. These scars also feature in Zizzin culture, taking on a deeper meaning by ways of ritual scarification. As they mature and achieve important milestones, their skin becomes a living canvas, etched with symbols representing their trade, tribe, and most brag-worthy accomplishments. Once again, I draw inspiration from good old Earth, as scarification was a common practice in parts of Africa, Australia, and even North America, where the body told the story of a person's life and status. The Zizzin are also wise in the ways of nature, the generations of accumulated knowledge of its many different materials. They're master bonesmiths and carapace workers, a valuable craft in a world where metal and wood are scarce. But what truly sets the Zizzin apart is their legendary skill with beasts. The folk of the Wild Shores are known to raise, train, and bond with creatures that would send most people running for the hills. Whether it's dependable mounts, coordinated hunting packs, or lumbering siege crabs, Zizzin-trained beasts have changed the outcome of battles throughout Vhar's history. Many tribes specialize in breeding a single species across generations, treating these animal companions not as mere pets or tools, but as genuine family members. These beastkin share the Zizzin's homes, assist them in their work, and even fight by their side in battle. From the smallest to the very largest of Vhar's inhabitants, meet the Blackfins, sometimes referred to as wanderers after their nomadic ways. These not-so-gentle giants share similarities with Earth's killer whales, which, for the record, are also members of the dolphin family. The hulking blackfin is one of the more primal offshoots of the Nazril genus, though some would consider them a separate breed, and it's easy to see why, given their vastly different lifestyles. Where other Nazril built cities and forged civilizations, Blackfins are prone to pillaging and raiding. Their violent culture can be boiled down to a single drive: find the strongest opponent you can, be it warrior or beast, and prove your worth by defeating them. Unsurprisingly, most earn their living as bounty hunters or mercenaries, selling their formidable strength to the highest bidder. As restless nomads, wanderers are always on the move, driven by their hunger for glory and the thrill of battle. Their aggressive, territorial nature makes permanent settlements impossible, as their kind cannot gather for long without spilling blood. And so most wander alone, carving their names into the bones of history one clash at a time. Yet even the most restless will sometimes seek company. Wanderers may come together in small, short-lived pods, often to raise children or trade songs of triumph and conquest. But once in a generation, a warrior of extraordinary stock will rise to fame. A war maker, whose legend alone can draw scattered pods under a single banner. The rise of these so-called war pods sends ripples of fear across Vhar. Their gatherings scar the land and paint the tides with blood. Entire maps have been redrawn in their wake, their merciless raids reducing prosperous cities to ash and bone. While not the most sophisticated of Vhar's peoples, one shouldn't mistake the Blackfins for mindless fools. Vhar's history is littered with cautionary tales of those who try to deceive the wandering folk, only to pay for their arrogance in blood. For above all, Blackfins despise trickery, and will go to great lengths to restore their honor. The depths hold no fury like a wrathful Blackfin. Next, we turn to the blue-skinned Qnoqa, denizens of the archipelago of Qnoqa, otherwise known as the Eye of Vhar. The Qnoqa are famed for their close ties to water. They boast a long history of pearl diving and exploring Vhar's perilous depths. Their waterblasts are among the most gifted in the world, and have a reputation for pushing the limits of elemental prowess. While magic pervades life on Vhar, much about it remains shrouded in mystery. Those who succeed in unraveling its secrets are seen not just as scholars, but as souls of holy purpose. The Qnoqa are also an industrious people. Their homeland embraces the Pearl Rift, a vast underwater gorge teeming with sea life and banks of hard clams. These hard clams form the raw material for what the Nazril call nicrium, a versatile organic material that serves as Vhar's main substitute for metal. None work it better than the smiths of Qnoqa, who use acid rather than fire to soften the shells before hammering them into new shapes. But the Qnoqa are more than craftsmen and mages. They are a deeply spiritual people, bound to the sea not just by livelihood, but by belief. They hold a profound reverence for the depths, the vast expanse of deep ocean that stretches between Vhar's main continents. Generations of pearl diving have shaped their bodies to better endure the crushing pressure of the deep, what they call the water's embrace. This adaptation has allowed them to explore farther than any other people, retrieving untold riches and discovering fragments of long-forgotten histories. Yet not all they found inspires wonder. And while there are many tales the Qnoqa will gladly share, there are some things they will not speak of, for fear of drawing those horrors to the surface. To this day, most Qnoqa will refuse to set a full sail while traversing the depths, an ancient sailor's rhyme engraved into their collective memory. They who rush across the deep may find the price too steep. What stirs below, none can know, so heed the dark and take it slow. Finally, we have the emerald-skinned Vhyqrali, the most militaristic society of Vhar, akin to the Spartans on our world. The Vhyqrali's warlike culture stems from the perilous location of their home, the Boiling Isles. 3 large volcanoes stand at the edges of the island group. Yet it isn't volcanic eruption that looms over the Vhyqrali, but the ever-present threat of invasion. Each of these fiery mountains has ruptured, giving way to blazing portals that lead to other worlds. On the other side live the Nazril's bitter enemies, the reptilian Scaleborn, whose hunger can only be sated by fiery conquest. And thus the Vhyqrali keep their eternal vigil. Every child learns to hold a spear from the time they can walk. When they come of age, men and women alike must join the watch, each serving a mandatory 5-year term, guarding the portals. Many never leave, choosing to make this sacred duty their life's work, earning the highest honor that society can bestow. Among the Vhyqrali, none command more respect than the veterans of the breach. Those scarred warriors who faced the flames and lived to tell the tale. But not every Vhyqrali is destined for the spear. Many choose the blacksmith's hammer, forging the weapons that guard the breach instead of wielding them. The Boiling Isles are home to Vhar's richest metal deposits, its volcanic seams bursting with iron, gold, and silver. The Vhyqrali smiths put it to good use, forging alloys like pearl steel, prized for its light weight and razor-sharp edge. But not everything is war and steel with the Vhyqrali. Some choose a more spiritual path, dedicating their lives to tend to their people's sacred soul reef. This unique coral formation lines the western coastline of the Boiling Isles and serves as a living monument. Its violet groves shimmer faintly in the depths, some sharp as blades, others soft with light. The Vhyqrali believe this glow emanates from the spirits of their honored dead. And when life's burdens grow too heavy, they come to bask in this sacred soul light, seeking the wisdom of those who came before. And that's all of them. But the more observant among you might have noticed something's missing. Vhar's largest continent, Anaqian, isn't represented here. The reason is simple. The ancient Anaqian bloodline, that of the first walkers, has all but disappeared. In its place stands a populace defined not by one lineage, but by a fusion of traits drawn from across Vhar, and even other worlds. Just off Anaqia's coast, deep beneath the waves, sits another breach. Unlike the portals at the Boiling Isles, this is a rift in the plane of water. On the other side lies Tal, a sister world where dolphins also rose to sapience, giving rise to Nazril kin cousins. Its access to Tal, and by extension other connected worlds, has made Anaqian the epicenter of culture and commerce, and the Anaqians have no qualms about exploiting this advantage. They've grown rich on interworld trade, levying steep tariffs on any goods going off-world, a practice that has led to widespread resentment. Born into privilege, Anaqians rarely brave the dangers of Vhar's oceans, where other Nazril risk their lives every day. This comfortable lifestyle has earned them nicknames like shore huggers and coin swimmers, terms rarely spoken with affection. Still, Anaqian plays a vital role in keeping Vhar fed. Up in the fertile Heart Lakes, they herd the gentle slack, giant mollusks that serve as the Nazril equivalent of sheep. some of you may recognize the inspiration for this animal. On Earth, we have a similar creature called a leaf slug, though it's only about 1 centimeter long. Yes, this is a real animal, and not some kind of AI-generated Pokemon. Native to the waters near Japan, this sea slug is one of the few creatures that can perform photosynthesis to gather energy. The slag are loosely based on that idea. They bear leafy growths on their backs, whose fibers can be spun into yarn, while their rich, nutritious meat feeds countless families. I hope you've enjoyed this quick introduction to Vhar's peoples. Know that there's much more to explore, but I still have to find some time to actually finish the book I'm writing. Once again, like and subscribe if you want to see more of Vhar. The link to my newsletter is in the description if you'd like to keep tabs on my writing. This also signs you up for the monthly bestiary entries if you'd like more background on the gnarly beasts I'm cooking up for my novels. You can also find my website in the description if you'd like to read the teaser blurb of my upcoming novel, or if you're just curious what I look like. That's all from me. Thanks for your time and take care.